Jim, thank you for doing this with me, man. I really appreciate this. I know we've had lunch before, we had some coffee, we got to see each other's clinics. Tell me a little bit about Live Hydration Spa. What got you into it, and like let's just jam because it's a beautiful concept.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me, first of all. And yeah, the whole concept behind Live Hydration Spa is just trying to fill the gap in healthcare and giving people more choice in their journey. So really what we like to say is that we're going to meet you, along your path, no matter where you're at, if you're just beginning or if you're into some of these more advanced, different, more functional practices that we can help you out there as well. The whole reason I got started in it is, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I like to help people. And I've also been focused on health and wellness pretty much my entire life. So the two just kind of came together. Really the deciding factor for me, though, that really made me decide to move forward with this franchise opportunity with Live Hydration Spa was my youngest daughter was away at college and had some stomach bug or something like that, couldn't keep anything down. So tried to send her to urgent care. They couldn't get her in. They sent her to the ER. So she spent like 5 or 6 hours there. So, being the age that she was, they had to run, certain tests and everything like that. So she was there for like 5 or 6 hours. They never gave her any IV fluids. They gave her a Zofran tablet and just sent her home. So that was bad enough. But the
Yeah.
real kicker is when I got the bill for $850. So right there, it solidified that fact that there is that gap in the healthcare system, and Live Hydration Spa with the services that are offered here really can help fill that gap. So that's really what got me on this road and got started.
Because I enjoy talking to other entrepreneurs, people who are business minded. Um, Tell me about your 20 years of business experience from your corporate roles and
Yeah.
and like why, and again my question also is why here in South County, like why, what is it about Sunset Hills that was like that's where I'm gonna go?
Yeah, that's where I want to go. Yeah, so over 20 years experience in corporate America, working for several different companies, AT&T, Spectrum, Express Scripts. And it was just one of those things where it's like you put all this work and effort into building something, for this, corporate America or whatever. And it's like, you know what? I need to take a chance on myself.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have my own business and it just felt like the right time to do it. So, finally pulled the trigger. I think Sunset Hills is a great spot just based on location on where we're at. So we're right at that 44 Lindbergh corridor, not far off the highway, next door to Maggie O'Brien's. The location just seemed perfect.
Yeah.
So luckily found this spot available and again, kind of pulled
It
the trigger.
worked. It
Yeah.
worked. Yeah. Nice. You said something that resonated with me, this whole gap in healthcare.
Yeah.
In your experience, like when you say gap in healthcare, what do you mean by that? And
Yeah, it's a
and
really good
why do
question.
why do you think you help fill that empty pocket?
Yeah. So there's a few things that we offer here that, people would like to do, and then they ask their doctor for it, and either the doctor says no or the insurance company is going to say no. So one example is lab draws. I just went to my yearly checkup with my doctor back in September, and when I was talking to him, I'm almost 50 years old,
Sure.
and I said I'd like to test my hormones and kind of see where I'm at, and he's like, "Why do you want to do that?" Like, well, because I'm getting a little bit older. He's like, well, it's not time yet. Okay, so we didn't get it done. That's something that we can do here at Live Hydration is we have a full access to different lab panels, lab draws, check hormones, your typical, we have a nurse practitioner on site, so she'll run any blood panel that you need.
Mhm.
But we can even test for like food allergies and stuff like that. Typically stuff that's not covered by insurance, we offer that. Another example is just recently had a guy come in and wanted to use a hyperbaric oxygen chamber because he had some past wounds from some burns that he had,
Yeah.
needed some healing. He used the hyperbaric in the past and had great results from it, but then the insurance stopped covering it. So he needed another option. And again, we offer that here. And that's just something that we've been trying to focus on is, as we continue to grow, because we're coming up on 2 years of being here in Sunset Hills. But as we continue to grow, we're adding more and more services. just trying to make sure that there's all the options out there for people, whether it's, from weight loss injections, I mentioned the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Now we're doing hormone replacement therapy. So it's more than just coming in and getting an IV when you're, not feeling well or need to boost your immune system. It's a wide spectrum of different services that we offer.
Love it. Now, since now IV is typically that's your main piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you said, some immune health, some rejuvenation, some weight loss. So when it comes to the IV treatments, what is the most sought after bag or regiment or
Yeah.
therapy that people are coming in looking for?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And really, there's not an easy answer to that because it varies person to person. So there's not just like a one IV therapy that's a cure-all for everything out there. For example, right now with whatever's going around here in the St. Louis area, we've been doing a ton of cold and flu bags.
Hmm.
So that's really has a ton of vitamin C in it, zinc, lysine, all things that are going to, kind of get rid of whatever's in your system and then also help boost your immune system to, kind of fight it off and everything. Outside of that, there's even, bags for anxiety and stress, performance recovery, for all the athletes out here. I know we have a ton of athletes, here that come in and supplement. So number one, the IV fluids are going to help you first of all, but then once you add in the vitamins, the minerals, the amino acids that we have to offer, it really takes it to that next level. Another a newer service that we have now is CBD IVs.
Oh,
Uh,
that's fun. Tell me about that.
oh my gosh. And I've tried it several times now. So there's no THC in it. So you're not going to get
Sure.
high or anything like that. But there's 6 different cannabinoids that are in this. It's called Pico IV. So it's, very small particles that allow it to even pass the blood-brain barrier. So it hits all these different receptors in your body and helps regulate all the different systems. So your immune system, reproductive, your, neuro, it has so many different benefits. It's great for cancer patients too, because it can even help like with nausea, help you sleep better. When I've done it, I feel so calm for like, at least a week
Yeah. Sounds
afterwards.
like very peaceful.
Yes,
Yeah, very
absolutely.
peaceful.
So
Yeah.
again, I just like adding new services, giving people more options in their care. So that's a newest thing that we brought on board.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now tell me about this whole now I know we talked because my dad has done your hyperbaric oxygen before for like a post-stroke and post-concussive issue that he was dealing with.
Yep.
I also want to know about your ionic foot baths and your oxygen bar because I remember the oxygen bars from Vegas
Yeah. Yep.
and the colored bubblers and like you
Yep.
want watermelon, you want mango, like
Yep.
I
And
always thought I'm like, what are people doing with this? Like, so let's go for the foot baths, and I want to know about the oxygen bar too.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, with the foot baths, one of the things that people have in their system that we try to get rid of is free radicals. So that's like the culprit of all things that can go wrong in your body, causes inflammation, different illnesses, different things like that. So with the ionic detox foot baths, we have a machine that we hook up an array to. So it's, you put your feet in water, it conducts a small little current, but it sends what's called anions throughout your body. So they go in through the pores in the bottom of your feet. As they circulate through, they attach onto the free radicals, the different toxins that you have, and then pulls it back out into that water through the pores in the bottom of your feet. So kind of sounds hocus pocus when you hear it because you'll see things on, you can probably even get them on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, 100% know
Stick on the
exactly.
bottom of your feet
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that. But we've done so many foot baths and we've seen the difference in people's water to tell like what is this working on? Is it because you
Yeah.
have the lactic acid built up in your muscles after workouts? Is it from like joints? The color of the water is going to tell you what's coming out. Even black flex means that it's pulling these heavy metals out of your body, which that's just horrible to have. So it's pretty cool to see. It's pretty disgusting at the same time, but also cool.
But it's got to go.
It's
I
got to
mean,
go. It's
it's
got to
like
go.
you realize people don't realize this was in your like the water just didn't make this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody
And
came
that's the
and dumped
thing.
crap in there.
And that's what I tell people. If even if you didn't put your feet in the water, it's going to turn like a tea color just from the chemical reaction that's happening.
Sure.
But this water gets dark and it
Yeah.
is like bubbles or just the different colors that you're going to see is telling you exactly. It's great for lymphatic drainage too. We do have a lot of people that come in after even a chiropractic adjustment. Like, you know what? This kind of completes this little cycle of my self wellness that I'm doing. So
Yeah.
there's definitely something to it.
Now, this beautiful niche that you've created has overall gained popularity in the past recent years, right? Which is why you're growing right now.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you believe is driving this trend, and how do you stay ahead?
Yeah, and that's a great question. I think at least, I've lived in the St. Louis area my entire life, and it just seems like sometimes, you'll see stuff on TV or whatever it might be, and it's just sometimes we're just a little bit slower to adapt or to accept something that's coming in. It seems like over the past, year and a half or so, just having good conversations with people, we have more and more people stop into the spa each day and just say, you know what, I'm not ready to do anything, but just what do you do? What's going on here?
Mm,
Because it's a different concept when you walk in. We have recliners that are kind of just spaced out. We have a cool little pulley system that will put the IVs up on. So we try to create this comforting, relaxing, welcoming atmosphere for people to come in.
yeah,
But I think it's, just more and more people are getting educated. There's some other IV spas that have popped up in the area, and I think they're all great. I think IV therapy is great for people, whether you come here or you go somewhere else. Obviously, I'd love for people to come here and give us
yeah, of
a
course.
chance. But even at some of your other like med spas now, where you do more like the facial, and we offer Botox also, but we don't do like the full micro needling and stuff like that at this point. But even when you go to places like that now, you can get an IV, while you're doing that other service. So I think that alone too is kind of helping spread the word. As far as like trying to stay ahead, I think the biggest thing that we've done is brought on a full-time nurse practitioner. So she's here Monday through Friday. We have direct primary care where we have memberships that you can sign up for. You have 24/7 access with our nurse practitioner, which is a great concierge service to have. But on top of that, she can do sports physicals, work physicals, sick visits. You don't want to go to the urgent care and wait for hours, pop in
Yeah,
here so you can write prescriptions and everything. And the biggest thing that we're doing to try to stay ahead is adding in that hormone replacement therapy.
nice.
So the way I see it, and when watching and researching and everything else, is we do so much to try to for the people that are proactive in their health to try to stay ahead and like, hey, what can I do? But really, your hormones are the foundation of everything. So let's check that. Let's make sure those are right. See how you feel afterwards, and then we can start adding in these other things too along the way. Because we even offer peptides now. Peptides are really popular. Um, got popular more so, I'd say, in the bodybuilding community because there's
Sure.
stuff that helps in recovery and stuff like that. But there's a peptide out there for basically anything you need help with. If you want to lose fat, build muscle, neuro function, cognitive function, stuff like that, even boost your immune system. There's some great stuff out there. So we're offering that now too. So that's what
Nice.
we're doing to try to stay ahead is keep on adding to the services.
So how do you stay engaged with your local community? And are there any like do you partner up with the Blues? Do you because everybody's like I'm the official pest control of the St.
Yeah.
Louis Cardinals?
Yeah.
Or are there any like partnerships that you're like, hey, I'm very proud of us working with XYZ?
Yeah, I mean, always open to partnerships. I'd love to get in with the Blues or the Cardinals or something like that. It's easier said than done, maybe.
No, of course. Of
But
course.
hey, if you're out there listening, call us. We'd love to partner.
That'd
Um,
be awesome.
some of the things that there's a specific charity that we work with. It's called Fish Out of Water.
Mhm.
Helps people with long COVID or who are vaccine injured. So a lot of the modalities that we have here, whether it's the IV, peptides, the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and then we also offer exosomes and stem cells that we can help people with.
Nice.
So partner real closely with the guys that Fish Out of Water to help out those folks. Outside of that, obviously, you've mentioned before, we've met and, even your dad has come in here and stuff like that. Love to partner with other local businesses, to see what we can do to help out. And then we're going to do an open house in March. So March
Oh,
9th,
great.
just to have people come in, ask questions. We'll have several different stations set up with actual nurses working to talk about all these different things. So we'll have some good giveaways, some specials and stuff like that. But just want to help spread the word and get it out. And then the other thing we've also done is try to sponsor different things with the local schools and even the
Of course.
community center when they
Yeah.
have something. We donate some raffle baskets and stuff like that. So anything to help the kids out, kind of soft spot in my heart for that.
Yeah. Because, they're so mentally immortal. Like
Mhm.
they'll just keep going and trucking. And then by the time they get to 23 or 24 years old, they're like, why do I have these repetitive injuries? Like, why is my knee clicking all the time? And you're like,
Exactly.
well, you played rugby for 18 years. What do you expect?
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty rough on the body there.
you got to pay the piper. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, we even had a kid that came in during football season, broke his finger. It was pretty bad break, had to get some pins in it and everything. So he ended up doing the hyperbaric chamber, probably did about 10 sessions or so. So the injury healed in half the time. He was able to get the pins out and played in the last couple games of the season.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
that, just seeing that happen like right in front of you and seeing the results that people are getting, it just makes you feel good. The kid was super excited to be able to, go back out and play with
Of
his
course.
friends and everything. But I think more importantly, mom was happy to see that her kid had recovered so well.
You know what? I think um, we started off with the whole there's a gap in healthcare to seeing the miracles of how the body heals
Yeah,
when we have to think outside the box.
100%. Yeah.
If we stick ourselves solely in our medical model, it's sick care.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is.
100%. Yeah.
And if I was talking with a colleague of mine who came in this morning, I was like, how do we why do we jump through the hoops of insurance? Like, well, because it gets them in the door.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It gets them in the door to say there are alternatives here. I know, and
Exactly.
it's nice to say, hey, listen, we don't do insurance because insurance doesn't want to cover the stuff that actually works.
Yeah. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Oh, oh, well, Jim, dude, this has been fun. I really enjoy talking with you.
Same here. Same
Is
here.
there's anything else you want to share on this? And then I'll get you a copy of this. You can put it out to your people too. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, just thank you again for this opportunity. You've been great.
Yeah,
Every time you've reached out, it's like you're trying to help, the small businesses in the area. So I think what you're doing is just fantastic. For people out there, mention the open house that we're doing on March 9th.
great.
Please come by. Would love to meet you in person, talk about our different services. Our nurse practitioner is Sarah Gearling. She is fantastic. You will love her. So yeah, just come by, stop by, see us. We're next door to
Oh,
Maggie
that's
over.
a Sunday.
That's a Sunday, yeah, from
Oh,
10 to 2.
heck yeah. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great day. So people have no excuse to show up. Go to
Yep.
church, do your thing,
And then
and
stop
then
by
come.
and see us.
Yeah, then come by afterward. Okay, that's
Yep.
perfect. Okay, great. All right, I'm gonna put it on my calendar. So that's
Good. Yeah.
awesome. Good.
Look forward to seeing you.
All right, buddy.
All right. Thanks again for having me.